Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. And I do want to hear from you if you love this watch because it's a classic travel timer from Patek Philippe, a model originally launched in 2001. This is the travel time 5134, the example here, the 5134R-001. So a model launched in 2001, but it's really the heir to the later examples of the Patek Philippe 2597, which featured two distinct hour hands settable by case flank triggers. And that's exactly what we've got right here. It's a dual time watch when you want it to be, and then it's clean when you don't. So the watch is nicely sized, a traditional dress watch, and really more of a late 90s sensibility. No one knew how vast watches would get in the 2000s. So while it came out in 2001, the 37 millimeter diameter by 10.1 millimeter thickness by 46.4 lug-to-lug dimensions were of another era. It's got a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs, which is nice universal size. Taking a look on the wrist, the watch is quite comfortable. It's nicely sized for my smallish wrist. You can see the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist on either side, so I'd recommend it for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. It's got a lovely classical aesthetic, a white dial, not silver white, but true white, almost chalk white, with rose gold applique breguet style Arabic numerals. It's thin, it'll fit underneath a dress cuff. Strap, high-grade, large, rectangular, symmetrical scale alligator leather, always indicative of an expensive cut of the animal. You can see this one features a sort of semi-gloss finish. It's got a sheer cut edge that's been lacquered for refinement with a monotone stitch. On the bottom, you can see calfskin, brand new Patek Philippe factory strap. We might have buckled it once, but you can see there's no crimping, there is no gouging. The buckle is a full folding clasp from Patek Philippe, with a Calatrava cross externally, and it is a snapshot clasp, just like that. Clasp is fixed with a screw and a bar. The lugs are fluid, shapely, handsome, and arcing. One of the elements that we lost on many watches in the 2000s as they grew enormous was the long, flowing sculptural lug. As cases got vastly larger and human beings remained the same size in the 2000s. Initially, there was no compromise when we started with sizes like this, but soon it was necessary to cut down the length of the lugs as cases got bigger and bigger. So these long arcing lugs were an element that often got lost, and they're sort of uncommon after about 2004 on new watches debuting in period. So it's really nice to see them on this 2001 era design. We have a little crown guard structure around the Calatrava cross crown. This is sort of a Calatrava lineage. It's not expressly a Calatrava, it's a travel time, but it does have a Calatrava sensibility in the mold of something along the lines of a 5107, 5127, 5227. It's one of the crown guard Calatrava designs, and then it has these beautifully integrated pushers. Now on the 2597, initially they would have moved the primary hour hand back and forth, and there was just one. On later versions of the historic 2597, you would have had the system you've got here, where you're able to step the local hour hand independently, and then you've got that second time zone. So now, because these are both 12-hour hands, they will move in sync, and so the dial stays clean. But you could see that there is a 24-hour dial up at the top, and that corresponds to your reference time. So the blackened gold hand is the time where you are. The polished gold hand is your reference time. And so, for example, you can see right now in our reference time zone, the time zone where we are not, you can see it's 8 p.m. because it's approaching 2100. So this is going to be your second time zone and your second time zone AM PM. Small seconds down at the base of the dial. There's a chemin de fer, or a railroad track outboard for reading the minutes. And then we have a little chemin de fer with sectors for the seconds, which are down at the base of the dial. I'll wind this up, get it running, so you can enjoy it in motion. And it is poetry in motion. Screwed in case back, you can see This is caliber 215. The 215 base is a 4 Hertz manual wind, 44-hour power reserve movement. It's got a free-sprung gyromax style balance, a system invented by Patek in the 1950s. It was one of the first free-sprung balance architectures, yielding both more precise adjustment and greater shock resistance. 18 joules. You can see this is the 256/156, and this is a Geneva hallmark movement, as all roughly pre-2009 Patek watches with a hallmark were. Elements of fine finish include stripes across the bridges, polished bevels in all the jewel sinks, mirrored anglage on the edges of the bridges themselves. You can see the locating pegs for the balance cock have been polished on their top. They help to place the balance cock on the base plate below. Engine turning on the base plate, screws. You can see all screw heads are polished. And then a unique circumferential concentric brushing on the crown wheel and the ratchet wheel, and an element you don't commonly see on Patek watches today, micro beveling on the teeth of the crown and ratchet wheel. All of this 30 meters water resistant. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.